Hi everyone, I wanted to put out a video response to your introduction discussion board. In the past, I've responded to everybody individually, and I'm going to give grades on the discussion board here this week. It's going to be pretty simple. If you made 2 posts, you get 10 points, which is full credit. If you made 1 post, you get 5 points. But I thought I would respond in video form this semester, just as a way for maybe everyone to kind of get a survey of all the responses that people gave. So I thought I'd just kind of summarize for you all the awesome diversity that we have in this course. I just got done this morning reading all of the discussion board. There's 75 posts or so, and there is just an amazing amount of diversity in our class in terms of where people live, previous life experiences, future aspirations, so on and so forth. And I'm really always kind of humbled by reading all of those things. I mean, you guys have done a lot in your lives, and it's just amazing how different everybody is. And you know, it just makes me think how just people are on very different paths and who take them, who that take them very different places. So I just think it's great. So I just want to summarize for you some of the details. I apologize if I didn't pull something about you or about your posts. I just went through and kind of took random notes as I was going through everybody's posts. So I'll talk a little bit about some different things, and we'll go from there. So just first off, I mean, there's a great diversity with where people live, or where people have lived, or where people want to live. We have one student living in China currently, speaks fluent Mandarin, teaches younger children out there, which is amazing. We have people who have been to Germany recently to do some soul searching. We have someone who was recently married in India and traveled the Himalayan mountains, which I think is really cool. That's something I would love to do. We have someone who lives in, and I might mispronounce this, I'm sorry, Ludell, Kansas, who has a population of 30. So imagine the person who probably lives just outside of Beijing in China, where there's, I don't know what the population there is, but I'm sure it's extremely high, all the way in Ludell, Kansas, where it's only 30 people. And I myself live in a town north of Hays, Kansas, north of Fort Hays, where Fort Hays is, in a town called Plainville, Kansas, which only has a population of about 1,500 or so. So I get the small town thing for sure. We have people who live in Texas, Minnesota, Los Angeles, just to name a few. Someone who lives in Laramie, Wyoming. I love Laramie, Wyoming. I've been through there on my way up to Yellowstone. I think that's a really nice town. We have a lot of diversity with where people are in their lives regarding their work, or their family lives, or where they want to go. So it's some details about that from some random assortment of people. We have one person that works for PayPal, which I think is really cool. I've never known anyone that works for PayPal, and they do a lot of important stuff. So I thought that was great. One person who works for the Department of Children and Families, or DCF, here in Kansas. I work a lot with DCF as a therapist, of course. So I thought that was cool. God, we have an assembly of different teachers in the class who teach different things to different ages of children. Work in a classroom, which I think is really cool. It gives you guys a lot of good experience. We have someone who is advanced, has an advanced yoga certification, which I'm super jealous of. I haven't done yoga in a while, but for a while I was doing it pretty very consistently, and wish I was a little bit better at it. But let's see. Someone who works for the general surgeon's office down in Wichita here. Someone who worked for Larned State Hospital as an activity therapist. Larned State Hospital is the adult psychiatric hospital here in Kansas. Lots of history with that state hospital. Let's see. We have someone who's worked with traumatic brain injury patients, which I thought was really cool. I bet there's some really cool insights and stories there. We have an experienced nurse. We have people who have worked in retail at Hallmark. We have people who have worked in the mental health system as a crisis manager. Again, an assortment of teachers, which is really cool. Someone who works at the Mayo Clinic. And aside from all that, of course, we have people who are raising families and people who are the primary caregivers for their families, which is definitely one of the most important, if not the most important job out there. So, that is just amazing. People with numerous children, or I think we have one. Yes, we have one person who is pregnant, I believe. So congratulations. And I think you said you're due sometime towards the end of the school year, maybe. So congratulations on that. Let's see. We have one person who's certified in professional chocolatiering. I had to mention that. That was pretty cool. That seems like a pretty cool art. Anyway, but back to caregiving. I mean, not only with people, but we have a lot of pet lovers in our class, which is great. My wife is a veterinarian. I think I mentioned in another video. So we have 3 dogs and a cat. The joke in our town is we run a doggy nursing home because 2 of our dogs are very, very old that we adopted in very late age and kind of work to rehabilitate them. So that's been really fun. We have people with a variety of interests for their future. People who are interested in psychology, industrial organizational psychology, educational psychology, working in the mental health field. People who are going to get their psych degree without really quite knowing where it's going to lead, but they're very interested in psychology and they want to pursue it and see where it takes them, which I think is really cool. People are interested in experimental psychology. People interested in psycholinguistics, which is really neat. Let's see. So I think that's kind of a summary a little bit, guys. Again, I'm sorry if I missed something about you. It's not on purpose, I promise. I just took a largest random assortment of notes. Oh, we have one person that I thought this was cool who does ballet to stay active, and that's really neat. So anyway, guys, feel free to email me about questions with the class as well. Some of you remarked about how you hope you get feedback in this class because maybe in previous classes you didn't get feedback on different things. And I can assure you that you will be getting feedback as the semester progresses on your reference listing assignment, your outlines, your article critiques. You're going to get the most feedback on the reference listing assignment, the outline, and the first draft of the paper. I give a lot of feedback on the first draft of the paper and really work to make sure you can see it. Because as I said in the video, I'm a big believer in developing your own writing. And in order to do that, you have to get really good feedback. So I really strive to do that. Some people nervous about the class. I totally understand that. Please watch the introduction video if you haven't yet. That's really important to watch that video. I try to assuage some of those nerves. So watch that if you haven't. Not to say that there won't still be some nerves there. That's normal and healthy to some degree, of course. But we're going to keep working through it. So anyway, that's about all I can think of right now, guys. Again, the grades for these discussion boards will be in there sometime this week. It's a really simple grading outline. I'm just going to put in 5 or 10 points depending on 1 or 2 posts, and we'll be good with that. So thanks, everyone. Have a good week.